You thought you voted for Trump. You didn't actually. You voted for billionaires to run the show.
Look, there are no Americans who can take these jobs. These are at the highest level of high technology. They don't take away jobs for Americans. They create entire industries.
America is about to get really gross because I can already see that Trump is emboldening people to fulfill their hateful dreams.
Hello guys, welcome and welcome back to Vibe Reacts, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do follow, like and share the video. Donald Trump has set $100,000 fee on the Hb1 visas. Let's quickly talk about it before we quickly jump into the video. Now, the Hb1 visa is one of the most desirable visas in the U.S.A, whereby people from different countries with skills, they get to be employed by these big American companies. People like the doctors, the IT expert, and also the engineers. So now this fee is going to prevent people from other countries to come. And I feel like this issue has really targeted the Indians, because you all know that most Indians, they are professionals and they're the holders of the Hb1 visa. Well, the $100,000 fee that has been set by Trump is going to prevent opportunities for not only Indians but also other workers coming from different countries. Now, I feel like this is more than just a visa fee. It's like a warning to the skilled workers that they're not welcomed at all unless they're $100,000 upfront. Let's quickly watch the video and come back for more discussion. Thank you so much.
The healthcare system is cooked, so the proclamation that was just signed now requiring companies to pay $100,000 for people on Hb1 visas, basically to prioritize Americans to get the jobs. So now everybody's thinking about tech. They're just going to outsource it and da-da. Nobody is thinking about healthcare. Do you guys not understand how many people in healthcare currently are under an Hb1 visa? And if these companies do away with them, we don't have enough people to fill those vacancies at this time. So what are we going to do? Nobody's going to be able to see a provider. Nobody's going to be able to seek treatment because we're already flooded. We already don't have enough for what we have. So if the people with the Hb1 visas can no longer work.
Right now, if you step out of the country, you might not even be able to get back in. They're not going to tell you this on the news the way that they should, so I'm going to tell you. Your boy DT just dropped a whole new hit on the H-1B visa program. That's the visa that a lot of skilled workers, including people from India and other countries, they use it to come here and work in tech, in engineering, in medicine. And I don't know about y'all, but I like the Indian doctors. But anyway, this H-1B visa is the main way that foreigners get into this country to explore their talents. Now, as of today, there's a $100,000 fee for them to pay to be able to do that. So now if you outside the U.S. trying to use that visa, your people gonna have to pay $100,000. They gonna have to get in that bag just for you to get over here. And let's just be real, some of these smaller companies can't afford that. So who gets left out? The average worker. They saying this is to protect American jobs and to make sure Americans get paid first. But let's be real. A lot of those people in India shaped the tech world. A lot of U.S. companies are low-key panicking because they telling their people not to even leave the country. So don't be fooled. This ain't just about immigration. This is about who has access to opportunity, who gets locked out, and how fast the rules can change.
I mean, I'm just kind of extrapolating from what I think Tocqueville would have admired about our culture, but I do think he would have looked at it fondly. Like, wow, that's kind of really cool about America, to disparage them as being like low productive agents of an economic zone is just ridiculous. And I think most Americans would reject that wholeheartedly and say, oh, my bad, I'm not a decathlon star. Well, okay, so what? But maybe I'm doing something.
You may have heard Donald Trump wants to add a $100,000 fee for companies who hire foreign workers on an H-1B visa. And I'm going to tell you two reasons why this is going to blow up in his face faster than his love affair with Elon Musk. First, if you don't know what an H-1B visa is, it's basically a permission slip for a company to hire a foreign tech worker to come here and live and work legally. These are extremely valuable valuable because they're limited each year to 85,000 in total. By adding this $100,000 fee, Trump is trying to increase the cost of that foreign worker so that it becomes more affordable to hire an American worker. If you don't understand how anything works, that sounds like a pretty good deal, because now hiring a foreign worker is going to cost $100,000 plus their salary, whereas you could hire an American to do it just for the salary. Unfortunately, Trump didn't add a $100,000 fine for companies who hire foreign tech workers overseas. So in reality, what Trump did was made it $100,000 more valuable to outsource highly paid tech jobs. Now, the second reason is just straight up supply and demand. There are only 340 million Americans. Meanwhile, China and India combine for 2.8 billion people. Right now, the United States puts out about 100,000 computer science graduates each year, and the best estimates suggest that India is putting out 5 to 8 times that many, and China is putting out 10 times that many. If you have a senior software developer job in the United States and you only hire American citizens, that job opening could sit for weeks or months before you have someone who can pass the test to take the job. That's not because American developers can't do the job. It's because every American developer who can do that job is already happily employed. Software engineers in the United States have been in such short supply that for a while their companies were actually talent hoarding. In some cases, hiring thousands of engineers without actual job descriptions just so other competitors couldn't hire them first. The fact is, the United States simply does not have the human bodies to keep up with innovation. For that to be true, American tech workers would have to be 10 times more productive than foreign counterparts just to keep up with population. While the United States used to be the tech hub of the world, that simply is no longer the case. And understanding why is nothing more than basic math. But unfortunately, when your president's brain has been cooked in fried chicken for 79 years, basic math is...
America has a secret weapon. That secret weapon is the H-1B. Without the H-1B, the scientific establishment of this country would collapse. Forget about Google. Forget about Silicon Valley. There would be no Silicon Valley without the H-1B. And you know what the H-1B is? It's the genius visa, okay? You realize that in the United States, 50% of all PhD candidates are foreign-born. At my system, one of the biggest in the United States, 100% of the PhD candidates are foreign-born. The United States is a magnet sucking up all the brains of the world, but now the brains are going back. Right. They're going back to China. They're going back to India. And people are saying, oh my God, there's a Silicon Valley in India now. Oh my God, there's a Silicon Valley in China. Duh. Where did it come from? It came from the United States. So don't tell me that science isn't the engine of prosperity. You remove the H-1B visa and you collapse the economy. In Wall Street Journal, editorialized against a congressman who wanted to ban the H-1B, saying they'll take jobs away from the American people. The Wall Street Journal said, look, there are no Americans who can take these jobs. These are at the highest level of high technology. They don't take away jobs from Americans. They create entire industries.
Welcome back, guys. Now, the U.S.A. says it's a land of opportunities. But with this rule, it clearly shows that the opportunity is for the ones who can afford it. So if you know that you cannot afford it, my dear sister and brother, you better go. Now imagine in a situation whereby you're a student studying in India and you've studied for many years. You've been studying maybe medicine or even computer science or even engineering, hoping to get that Hb1 of graduation. And finally, when your prayers are answered and you get and manage to get that job opportunity in the US, your company has to produce $100,000 fee for you to go and work in the US. You can just imagine how wasteful it is. Because I am quite sure that, you see, in countries like the Indians, most people are professionals. Most of them, they are learned. Most of them. So in this situation, you'll not be the only one. There are other people who are eyeing that position. Others who have already even gotten that opportunity and they want to use it so badly. But you see where the problem is. The company cannot manage to put up that ransom amount of money, because that's quite a lot. Because mind you, you're not the only one. There are others. Maybe there's someone who has studied medicine. There's another one who has done computer science. So you see, there's so many people. But now, for you to be able to get in the USA, to go to the country of the land of opportunity that it says, your company has to produce $100,000. and this is so devastating, and this is going to limit most people. And in this situation, it will make the company to terminate the offer. Why? Because the company has many students who have the skills, who have already even qualified, but the company cannot manage to produce that amount of money. Now this is going to shatter and kill dreams of most people, people who have really spent and invested their lifetime studying, and now what they can do, they can't even get a job in the USA. Now you see, according to Trump, he says that he's securing the job for the American workers. But have you thought, like, what will happen to these American companies? But what about the American companies that depend on Indian doctors to treat the sick patients? What about the American companies that depend on the Indian engineers to run their systems smoothly? Now, this issue has really affected and targeted our Indian brothers and sisters so badly. But the good thing is, countries like the Canada, UK, Europe, Australia, they have really quickly jumped into offering these Indians jobs with low pay requirements. This is something good. So the Indians should not feel bad or broken. And also, the other thing that the Indians have done is that they have decided to concentrate with their country, to boost the, what is it called, their industry technology. They have decided to boost it. And if Trump thinks that he did a good thing to secure jobs for the American people only, that's well and good. But he should know in mind that he has really lost the sharpest and the brightest minds to countries like the Germany, Europe. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know how you feel about this information. Let me know what you think. Yeah, please don't forget to share your comments down below, and don't forget to hit that subscription button, like, follow, share the video. Thank you so much. One love. Well, by doing this, it has encouraged the people in the US to professionally train their workers so that they can get that target job. Also, it has also led to, you see, that these students in the USA who have studied, they have the skills, they have everything, like they know, they have everything required to get that job. At least it will encourage them to get a position in that place, for they felt like they were left behind. For real, for most of those jobs, they were going to highly skilled people, and these are people from the Indian people globally, in short. You see, at least they'll be able to get a job and pursue that American dream. It has led to, you see, some of these workers who come globally, they work in, how do I say it, in sensitive industries like the computer science, whereby they might transfer some data about the USA and maybe interchange some things or even steal some things. So at least their things will be secured now, because most of the people who will be working there are only based in the US.